oh, these gals have it. If I was more hoarse this morning from saying to people, "Oh, good job, you got a bingo." Little tiny children. I wish some of my tables had been lower at the carnival so that they could have seen just a little bit better. But it was so cute. Where there was one adult assisting the child, and the adult's going, "I think it's that one." The child's going, "No, no, I got this." And so each time they got to take candy out of the bowl and cover their free space for bingo, and then cover the picture of, you know, there was tools, and there was a school bus, and there was, a mailbox, and just things like that. And it was great because my first customer was like about 22 years old. He goes, "I love me a good game of bingo." And he was like inviting other kids to come over, and he just got it rolling. And I was just, I was talking over the music and encouraging people. And I was like, "I don't have anything left." But I'm glad I have a little bit left. But this is exciting. None of the three of you had met each other before on screen. Yay for LinkedIn and Google and everything else where we can kind of peek in. I'm I'm just grateful. And Isabel, I see that you are in it too. You know that we're alive and we're going out. I was explaining that I don't have laryngitis today after helping with a carnival that brought awareness of, it's not new. It's been there for 2 years, but people still need to know that there's a food bank available to them in a particular community. We're in the Willamette River Valley, and around the community of, it's called Adair Village, where Scott and I lived for over 11 years. Um, there's just farmland. I mean, you drive that way and it's, Black Angus. You go this way and it's like hunting grounds, and you've got to drive at 55 miles per hour for 15 minutes to get to anything else. So that food bank, I was just really glad to be part of raising awareness of it and everything. So they had, this time of year, they get lots of apples and zucchini and plums and everything. So they actually had one of the booths where the children could play games wearing their costumes, was fresh vegetables and fruit, and people were walking around eating, apples and stuff. And I was like, this is so cute. I was all into it, and I was so exhausted afterwards. I went, I used to do this stuff all the time. And now it's like, run me out. Isabel, have you been on screen with Ani or Deanna or Natalia before? I don't think so. But it was all back in May and June, a little bit in July. She's got her mute on. Oh, Jody Kay says she's backstage.
Oh, good.
And Scott gave her directions. So
Good.
yay.
I muted because the lawn care company across the street has arrived. So I'll go back on mute so that you can't hear the lawnmower until they leave. But thank you for organizing. And I did have a link trouble with the initial link, but so here we are. I'm glad that Scott sent the reminder. Thank you.
Yeah. I just, we pop things in different directions, but he's been doing this sort of thing for, I think, over 10 years now. So I will just say right now, much gratefulness to my husband for even talking me into doing this. That took months for him to talk me into doing the camera, the talk, meeting people on social media, let alone the day that I said, okay, we've moved into our apartment. We have started this phase of our life when we're downsizing and we're more available to a parent who is 92. We're more available to In our situation, we do have one son-in-law who has a very big family, and we get to be available, to go see, the occasional game or something like that, graduation parties and everything. So we decided to do it from an apartment. So, um, hey, Steve Berger is here from. Is anyone else in Florida? Yes, I thought so. I thought that the I'm going to say it right. Caregiving Worldwide Studio was within a drive for you,
You have
Deanna.
a you have a great memory. You have a great
Woo! Well, it's just those images. Images stay with me very well. So you and Steve, you can just, I no, I'm joking because I know that it takes forever to get from the Keys of Florida clear up into where you're under Georgia,
Yeah,
Alabama.
I'm in Central Florida,
Oh,
and it looks like
perfect.
Steve is in Naples.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I've talked enough about being at the carnival. I hope that this works for Jody. As we anticipate her approach coming in, I think the first person on the screen was Natalia. So you're first in line. So you get to have fun. Yay, Jody's coming in. Natalia, you get to have fun. I asked you if you've written a book yet, and you had a response for that. You said,
No,
first, I have to.
no, I haven't written a book, but I finalized the stage of my project and stage of my life is white paper, which took me quite a long time to write, but it looks good. And now I have something ready when people want to know about my project, and so they can read it at their own time. They don't need me, they can find it what it is about. And the other thing I did for this project, I also filed a patent, provisional patent. So it was a big project I did in September, like canceled all the other engagements and was working on this too. And I'm very proud I finished it. Yeah.
I don't even know what a white paper is, but it sounds like it's similar to a thesis and that it would have to have some rigor to it.
It's the way I approach it and the way I understand it. It's not aggressive advertisement. So it's a paper when you want to know something about this project, you come and read it. So I like I didn't say it. I am a creator and developer of cognitive activity for older adults. It's called Bricks for Better Brains. So now you hear that it is, and down the line you think, okay, I want to try or learn more about cognitive activity or this Natalia's cognitive activity. You come to me and I give you that white paper, which is 11 pages long, kind of, it's a mix between good advertisement, healthy advertisement, and a thesis. So there is theoretical parts, there are practical parts, and there is a persuasion part. But it's not aggressive. It's more of a exciting thesis, more exciting than it would be in a scientific same environment. Yeah.
So bricks for better brains. Do is do you think you have an emphasis more on a brain that is now affected by a condition, disease, injury, or do you feel like it is more for, hey, you ought to be doing this because you you're past your 39th birthday, let's get going? Do you have an emphasis?
It's both. Actually, there are two parts. One for dementia, people living with dementia, which is kind of I'm doing it, but it's not a lot of people doing. My invention or the something new I bring to the world is more for people, like you say, after 39 or whatever age you put there, is more of a repetitive exercise for the brain. It is So it's more of a maintenance than it's therapeutic.
Maintenance.
Mhm.
You don't just stop. People
No,
talk about lifelong learning, and
yes,
you're talking about keep, do those crunches, except it's up here. Do
yes,
you
but
you don't just let it go. I let myself go as a teacher. I literally had a chair in the front of the classroom and at the back of the classroom at my desk. And I'm going to the doctor going, I'm in my 30s and my back, what is going on? And good doctor, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, I'm even teaching PE. It's a very tiny school, and we all do a little, and it's like, well, how do you, what are you doing to, and it's like, well, and then when I'm sitting in the front, he goes, so you're sitting all day. He says, nobody else can take care of your back. You're the only one. And I've been doing those exercises now for over 30 years because I do not want to go through that again. And I can tell when I cheat, when I skip, when I'm lazy.
yes,
So brain.
there is now, the saying 20 minutes, I mean, apple a day, then 20 minutes of exercise a day. And now there's a third thing coming is 30 minutes of art a day.
Yes.
So the 30 minutes of art, and when we're talking about art, it could be anything. It could be something what we just generally think of art, painting, drawing, or something. Art could be art beholding, like having experience with art in a museum somewhere. What I'm doing with my project is the other medium, which is Lego bricks. But we create something art-like or craft-like with Lego bricks, with added benefits of tactile stimulation and everything. So this is just another way to engage everyone in the art. Hopefully 20 minutes a day, so people have their outlet when they can try something new. So,
and in person, you mentioned Patty Sharon, who co-wrote a book with Laura Herman. We're all here in Oregon. She led a group of us through, I guess you'd call it an exercise, but it felt more like, hey, it's your turn now. And we only had 6 bricks, and we had to express something with our 6 bricks, which meant a totally different part. And, if you'd had electrodes on me or a imaging machine, totally different part where I'm like, what can you do with 6 little bricks? And then I started realizing, oh, they don't all have to be connected. Oh, I can stand them up and pretend like they're people. I just went into my childhood expressing something that was actually very much adult, mature, but to be able to express it, and the smiles on the other people's faces, and the expressiveness in their voice as they were trying to share why they had positioned their 6 little bricks in one way. I could imagine being a person who wants to age in place, but that means being at home, very quiet a lot. And I would just love to put you and Patty and Laura and Vanessa on screen every once in a while, and have all of you lead me through an exercise where I'm in one of the boxes and having to express those things. So yes, art doesn't have to be paintbrush.
and the very good point you brought in is that play element. There is increasingly research of play benefits for people at all ages. And older people are so boxed in what's appropriate and what's good. We don't play. We don't accept play as something we could do. So what Patty did to you and what we did in our activity, we try to break that box. So play becomes an essential or accepted part of our lives. And it takes time. You just generally think about it, you cannot approach somebody, even your friends, and say, let's play. They will think something strange is going on. So this is one of the ways. And again, play is a big concept. It's not only with bricks, it's not only, it could be whatever, but concept of play, engaging freely and openly and without final results sometime, but just having been in a moment is something else we need to learn to age successfully. Or
Ani, I'm thinking about you right now because Natalia is trying to do a course correction on the entire culture of the world, that once you're grown up, you don't play anymore, and that causes atrophy, etc. Everyone on the screen is trying to go, hey folks, don't buy into just the fallback position, don't advance, do not retreat, don't become stagnant. You thankfully found out at home that it wasn't going to work to be on screen today. So there you are in your office. Thank you, Ani.
Of course, I'm like, okay, what's the easiest way? A coffee shop, Starbucks, which is like literally down the street that I walk to, or my office. I'm like, no, my office is safer. So
You won't
yeah,
have someone coming over saying, "Hi, Ani, I haven't seen you in a while," and you're like, "Oh, bye, I'm."
I know, right? I know. But we do what we need to do. Sometimes I'm on a call with someone that's other side of the world, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking, would I do that? Would I stay up to be on a call at 2 a.m.? I'm not sure. But I absolutely love what Nat. My screen is very small. I'm on my phone. So Natalia, what Natalia does, it's fantastic. Yeah. Especially her culture is very similar to where I come from, my culture. And I don't associate a lot with my culture people, but when they find out, it's like, oh, you're 54, but you don't dress like a 54-year-old, or you don't act like a 54-year-old. Where is it written? How am I supposed to act or dress like? I mean, I'm not going to dress, with what you call in English that my midsection is open, but I'm like cool, cool auntie. Like, of course I have to, I don't want my niece to be embarrassed too. I embarrass them when we're outside. So it's, but I love what Natalia does.
Oh. Now, did you say, in actuality, were you on a call with someone on the other side of the planet and it was 2 a.m. for them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Was this just social, or did it have to do with?
No, it was.
Yeah.
It was business call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't set it up. They set it up. So they just happened to be, at 2 a.m. I guess maybe they're night person because I'm in bed by 9 p.m. But of course, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. So, but I was impressed. I was like, more power to you. So,
one of my favorite quotes from the last time we were on screen together is, from you, is that no one should say, oh, well, you have to expect pain, constant pain, increasing pain, more pain in more places as you age. You just have to accept that. You just have to realize that's part of aging. And you're like, I don't accept it. In fact, I find solutions. So it's one thing to complain about something or to say that it shouldn't happen. It's another thing to create a solution or be part of making sure that other people find a solution. Can you give us an example of how you blow that generality out of the water for any of your clients?
Well,
Patients?
I mean, I love it. It's different people, they react differently. Just the other day, I got a call from an acquaintance. He's a 66-year-old man. And he's like, I have a question for you. I've been having lower body pain. And my doctor said, oh, you're 66. It's normal for your age. Here's a muscle relaxant. Take it. He goes, I take it, but it doesn't really help. And I don't want to be constantly taking medication. And so my approach, it's very individualized. I don't have like a cookie cutter say, okay, these are the 5 steps you got to do. Because for the gentleman, I'm like, well, let's look at your blood work. Can you pull up your blood work? Tell me this markers. So as he's telling me, I'm like, okay, you have dehydration. You're dehydrated. You have systemic low-grade inflammation. Did your doctor tell you that? He's like, no. He says my numbers are normal. Yeah, it's normal based on the lab ranges. But when I'm looking at the functional ranges, that's what I was trained to look at. It's different. So depending on a client that I'm working with, I could be saying, hey, you know what? Let's do genetic testing. Let's see genetically how does your body react to your environment? Do you have higher potential of inflammation? Or, usually we are women here, I'm assuming in our maybe between 40 and 60 or so. So I'm trying to stay within, it's, I didn't want to like go wider range. Okay, I would say 40 to 70.
Yes.
And so generally, with the hormonal changes, generally, as females, some of the concerns are hormonal imbalances, osteopenia, osteoporosis, and then it comes some kind of a cognitive decline, brain fog. So when I look at your genetic report, it will tell me that, okay, you know what, with your brain function, your body breaks down dopamine or neurotransmitters really fast because those are the genes you have. So what would be the best approach compared to someone like me, who my body breaks down neurotransmitters very slow? Neither of them are good. You want to be in a happy middle. But knowing that, or you know what, you have genes in your, let's say, joint pathway that your body breaks down bone mass much faster than it rebuilds it. So let's see what we need to concentrate on. So it's very personalized approach. And it makes it really fun. And it's like being a detective, trying to figure out, what's the best and fastest approach for each person. So they have their personalized action steps that they can do to maintain their quality of their life.
I'm still, becoming an advocate for yourself. These are normal numbers. These are good numbers. And there's the 3 words, for your age. It's like, who made that up? How long ago was that decided? Was that before they knew how to, before they invented MRIs? Was it before they knew what dopamine was? Normal for your age. Oh my goodness. Are there clones of you in other regions that people can go and visit? Or do you do a lot of consultation online because people's information is so transportable now?
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. All my like nutritional, looking at the lab test analysis, genetic testing, it's all online. That's the beauty of it. The only time I see patients in my clinic when I'm doing hands-on manual therapy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're actually, I'm going to say, working them.
Oh yeah, I started as a medical, my bachelor's is in kinesiology. I started as a medical massage practitioner, where I started back in former Soviet Union in Armenia. Yeah. But here for like 15 years, I was working as a medical massage practitioner, specializing in pain resolution, and then got into functional nutrition and then translational nutrigenomics. And I'm loving the, just kind of the mixing and just to see which one is going to work best for that specific client. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm so glad that Nancy got us onto the same screen one time when I was completely muted because I had the wrong camera and the camera told the microphone not to work, etc. So I got to listen a lot, and that's how we got to know each other. I'm so grateful to her. Oh my
Me too.
gracious. Yay. So, Deanna,
Mm.
I have been, well, I've been in the same place with Janice Shokrian, who is also an Oregonian. So we've actually been in the same airspace together now for the first time, even though we're just a drive away from each other. But I put you all into the same category because I know that part of your marketing has been through Caregiving Worldwide. But I'm just going to guess that you didn't go, well, we got on there and now we're done. Um, I feel like I'm going to say the product wrong. Is it Seni?
Seni, you got it
Yeah.
right, Christine.
Seni.
Seni. Yeah.
Good. So you can talk about anything you want to, but I'm thinking that you've done something else besides be on that show with Tracy Lamb, as far as letting people know that there is a better product when you need a better product. And the story that still sticks with me is the lady who assists her husband, and she was so thrilled that he didn't wake up. And when you've been a caregiver, you understand how wonderful it is that somebody isn't waking up saturated because he is not able to move himself during the night, or getting him up and getting him into a bathroom and back again is just not working. There's only so much one person can do. There's only so much one person can take, as far as, up and down, in and out of mobility devices, etc. And that he was not waking up in a moist bed. And I was just like, this is not just when you are past octogenarian or something. This is for anyone. And I love what you've done. So go ahead and describe that and any marketing things you've been involved with lately.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. I have to say, because you brought up Janice and Tracy Lamb, those are two ladies that have my utmost respect, along with a lot of others, including you, Christine, in the field. But they are just gems because they speak from the heart. And just, I have a lot of respect for their knowledge and their points. So as I was listening to Ani, it's interesting when you talk about marketing, or I think of it more as education. Our company, my teammates and I, are all about educate. And Ani mentioned a person-centered approach to care, which we believe strongly. We align right out of the gate there that is so key. So when, in terms of educating or marketing, we've created a lot of tools that help people find the right size product, the right absorbency level, because all of us, even on this call today, if we were all incontinent, we all have different shapes, sizes, and voiding patterns. So we're very big into the person-centered. And then again, from a marketing or educational perspective, just to listen to Ani, it's as she was talking, I'm thinking, that's an alignment, that's common ground. Incontinence is not an age-related thing. It's not, I'm incontinent because I'm older. It's more common when people get older, but it's more common due to probably another type of condition that's causing it. So a condition causes it. It's just not, oh, someone's older, they become incontinent. So it was just kind of plays into what she was saying. But we're growing. Our biggest thing, we're finding more people in the field to go out and spread the good word. So we just did some restructure where we promoted a couple of folks to regional sales managers, and we brought on a couple of new folks. I've got 3 openings. I share as much as I can. I'm looking for someone in Pennsylvania. I'm looking for someone in Northern California. I'm looking for someone in Texas. We are just growing, and doing a lot more webinars, podcasts, both from a consumer side, but also from a business to business, to share with skilled health and memory care that, hey, we can help when it comes to residents, that we should not be fixing pressure sores in this country in 2023 due to urinary incontinence. And it's be proactive with a good product. We don't fix the ugly on the end. And I think all of us are, as humans, are entitled to having good skin
Yes.
as we age. So that's kind of what we've been doing as of late. It's a lot of fun and rewarding. And those stories, Christine, continue to come in. The bigger our team gets, the more sharing we're doing amongst one another, and it's story after story after story. So it's fun stuff. It's a good time.
Oh, yes. Thank you for not accepting, well, pressure sores are going to happen. They spend a lot of time in one position. You're like, unacceptable.
Yeah.
We've noticed it. I think it's because we're watching old TV shows, TV shows that have been off the air for, decades. And there's if we can put a man on the moon, why can't we? And so, if we can do the best and use these, if we can get onto Zooms, if a person who has never done social media, period, can do this, then we can give people clean, comfortable, dignified, healthy skin. Everyone deserves that. I used to say adult undergarments or something like that. There was just something that I would try to refer to it, because being brought in as a hired caregiver, it's like, wow, talk about an invasion of space. At least if you go to a medical facility, you're thinking you're going to be able to go back home. But no, I was sent into your home, and I'm just all there, and so I would say things like, I am just here to do a crossword puzzle. Let's take care, outsource these little sundry things to me so we can get to that crossword puzzle. Or you can tell me what it is that I'm going to try to cook right today, the way that your spouse used to cook it for you or whatever. And I just think, what a thing to be joyful about. And I'm with you on educate. It's like, don't just go, you know what? The only thing that's available is what I see at the one grocery store where I go down that aisle and then try to shove that underneath the big bag of potatoes so that nobody knows that I use that product. Or the only thing that I can use is what I see that's the cheapest on my browser. And, I guess they're all the same. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
No.
That's true. We're big into everybody's different. And and when you use fully breathable, you reduce that risk of a pressure injury when you use a product that is fully breathable and super absorbent, and gets good sleep too. People can sleep. So again, we're just saying not as a blanket approach for everybody. We help to reduce the risk of skin breakdown, reduce urinary tract infection, reduce falls when people are sleeping through the night. So we're just saying, let's stop thinking about blanket approaches that everybody's the same and everybody has these issues and so forth. So it's, who would have thought? But yeah, when you use good products on the front end, you reduce the risk of a lot of negative outcomes. And people are more social too, because if people feel comfortable and dry and not worried that they might have an embarrassing situation, they go out more and they enjoy life, and they're not squeaking and having noises, and there's nothing to be ashamed or worried about, and happy lifestyle. So that's kind of what we're promoting.
It's part of your clothing. And Sunny does like you how do I say this? I've never done this, but I believe that I've heard that you can buy clothes online where you actually do lots of measuring and lots of answering of questions. And then they're going to send you that piece of clothing. And it's like, finally, someone who understands my upper thighs, finally, someone who knows that I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be like this, and someone who comes out of a fitting for like a bra or something, they're just like, this is the way it was supposed to be. I had no idea. Once again, you go in, there's all these colors and everything. And it's like, well, it says these numbers and letters, so I guess this is what I got to go with. And you're like, no, this is a part of your clothing. It's foundational. It's going to make your day, and it might make your night too. So, why not? I mean, you would get comfortable pajamas. You wouldn't go, oh, yeah, these are kind of feel like rough paper. I guess I'll wear those. So, why wouldn't you want something? I love it that your company has said, let's do this really right and reduce the problems that people think they just have to put up with.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Isabel.
And much appreciated too, Christine, because these platforms help create that awareness. So we're grateful.
Yay. Yeah, I think I used to say a lot, or I typed a lot, awkward, normally awkward conversations about awkwardly normal, I don't know what it was that I used to type, but I was just like, yeah, if we can be a little bit awkward and that educates another person, if we can say something that people still kind of cringe about, I don't, if you're going to talk about that, you're going to make a joke about it, or it's one of those things where you go, yeah, we're done on that subject. And it's like, no, that subject is every day, every hour for people and people who care about that individual. So let's just put it out there so that people can go, finally, thank you. We have something so much better. Isabel, how is the lawn care going outside your window?
I think they're almost done, but I would rather hand the mic to Jody Kay for a little longer, please.
Okay, good. Jody, anybody doing machinery outside of your place? There was one show where there were not one, but two jackhammers right there. Two jackhammers. Like, this cannot be. This is a joke.
No,
Jody, I'm so glad you're here.
no machinery going on here. However, so I recently moved, and this is literally the first time that I've used this space. So I know that I've got to fix the lighting and such. However, because of where I'm living now, if I suddenly peer off into the distance, this morning, 3 deer literally ran across, I mean, like right there, right in front of me. So I'm still getting used to that. So.
Oh, no, don't get used to it. Oh my goodness. Jody, have you done, when I was trying to get over my fear so that I could educate, so that I could find resources that I wished I had found a decade ago. Excuse me. I would start out with, what have you done right for someone challenged by aging issues? So Jody, what have you been doing right lately?
Oh, what a wonderful question. Thank you so much for asking that. So my mind is arcing everywhere when you share that with me. First of all, a couple things that I want to say. Natalia, when you were talking about playing, that set me back a little bit because of my natural strengths and my wiring up here. I have a very difficult time playing. And it's because I'm if anyone is familiar with the Enneagram, I relate most with the number 8. So that is a very hard worker. I get the job done, and playing comes later if there's time. So Natalia, thank you for sharing that and bringing that to my attention, because as hard as I work and as much as I help people, I have to take time to play. So thank you for that reminder. Yeah. So what have I been doing right? I tell you, my business is growing and evolving, and I couldn't be more excited. Something that is I didn't realize it was so much of a passion of mine is being my client's advocate, being the advocate that they deserve. That's the first thing. And I'll just share this very briefly. I recently had a client in another state whose significant other called me very upset. She had had a brain aneurysm and was in the acute hospital for 4 months, and then was moved to acute long-term care, if anyone is familiar with that, for another month, before then moving to the skilled nursing facility for her rehab. She had rehab 10 days, and the insurance cut her off, and the facility started billing her privately $11,000 a month, plus having to pay privately for any therapy that she could get. That's when they called me. And after lots of investigating and being my client's advocate and digging in and not being afraid of the big corporate office or the big insurance company, I found out exactly what the problem was. The facility was not using the insurance company's proper paperwork. It's not that she was denied. She was never denied. They just didn't pay it because it wasn't on the correct form.
Wow.
So I was able to get all of that turned around. Not only that, but this is what I'm most proud of for her, is that I was able to get her accepted into, in my opinion, the #2 acute rehab facility in the nation. And she went there for 3.5 weeks and she's home. So to me, you know what, just me being that advocate and me knowing the system and me knowing who to talk to, when to talk to them, and what to say, I was able to help her get exactly what she needed. So I am really loving my hourly emergency consulting that I do. I absolutely love it, because that's when I actually get in and I am able to get down and really help my people. So yeah, that's just one thing that went perfectly, actually, because she's home.
I have this vision of you with like a magnifying glass and, Jody K. Benusa, private eye. I'm going to dig down. I'm going to find out what's going on. You know what questions to ask.
Mhm.
Here's me with, I go limp, and it's like, so it's gone. All the options are gone. All we have left is, and when you need, licensed care, you need skilled care. Everyone needs skilled care on something. You can't just say, well, we'll just bring them back home, because, for example, in a stroke, you have a person whose hand is just going like this,
Mhm.
and you get just the right information about that there's something up here that needs to be worked a certain way to release that, and then that's going to release that. And you're thinking the whole time, I just need to keep rubbing their hand, I need to put a brace on it. And if they can't be in a place where the experts are helping them, they're going to lose mobility and the ability to continue to live self-determined, etc. So you fixed it. Good job. You did that right.
Another thing, just really quickly, and this is like amazing to me, because for me, my job, I love what I do. I love being that advocate for those who don't know what to do or say. And Christine, you're so right. Most people just go limp, and they they go with the flow when that isn't necessarily what they have to do. I had a call from a client just last week. Hey, mom is in the hospital. They're wanting her to discharge home. We can't take her home. What do we do? What do we say? How can we keep her here? And after we talked through the situation, we were able to get into a skilled nursing facility for a short rehab stay. She's going to be there for another week and then transition into a lovely, beautiful assisted living. So, but the social worker was coming in and saying, I need to get her discharged. And they called me saying, hey, help, what can we do? And I was able to talk them through that. I know the language. I know what to share. I know what to say and not to say. So, yeah, I just, that's my game, advocating for those who can't. So something else, and just real briefly, I just want to throw this out there. You know, the holiday season is coming. It's just around the corner. And something that I want every caregiver to be aware of and to be thinking of is if you're going home to your childhood residence, where you have all these wonderful memories and the family is showing up, could we just please remember possibly some of the stress and pressure you might be putting on your loved one? You mentioned earlier, Christine, that aging in place, a lot of times you're home and it's quiet. During the holiday season, when we all converge onto the home all at once, it can be quite overwhelming. So let's just keep that in our thought as we do travel home. If our loved one is used to peace and quiet and opening a can of soup for dinner, and we're putting all this extra stress, let's just have a little extra compassion this year for them.
That's just, you don't know, things can change in a year drastically. And just the rhythm that's comfortable, and this person is feeling uncomfortable and their voice is a little changed and they seem agitated or a little too quiet, seem to retreat from the room, and just think to yourself, this year, let's do it on their terms.
Yes.
Let's say, you know what, we're just going to take a trip to the mall, the movie theater. We're just going to go downtown and see the lights. Would you like to stay here, warm and comfortable? Give that option and give them some moments to just regroup. And we all have that thing that we do that's like feathering our nest, that's going to make it okay, that we're like, okay, now I'm ready, and just give them that time. I champion that. It's easy to feel like, well, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, when we were all together, everybody was loud and there was paper flying and there was food going, and it's like, how much more can we cram back into the fridge? And just go, you know what, we're just gonna go out and get some food and maybe eat some. Can we bring you something back? And watch for that facial change of, yes, yeah, I would really like some from that restaurant. And it's like, great, we'll bring some back to you. And just, if our noise is out of here, you can take a breather or something, or I don't know. It depends on the person. Maybe you shouldn't really make a big deal out of why you're doing it. And maybe you should just talk individually with them away from the group and just go, does it feel better? Does it serve you if we all get out of here for a while and watch for the change in their face? Thank you, Jody. I appreciate that. Isabel, how's it going?
The lawn maintenance crew has left. The sun came out. That's why I had to close the drapes, but I'm not complaining how beautiful it is on this autumn day. And thank you, Christine, for bringing this group together, because I love the collaboration and the chemistry and the common themes that are available here, because we are women of just doing stuff and creating connections. And we have a lot of, whether it's relationships in our lives or our own personal circumstances, it's nice to be in a space where you know that you're recognized and that you can share experiences and best practices. And um, my theme, I choose a theme every year. It's kind of my motto or mantra for the year. And this year it's living vibrantly, because I turned 69 recently, and I'm thinking, wow, this is, if you said to me 20 years ago, this is what your life is going to be like, or what you're going to do, how you're going to dress, to your conversation earlier,
Yes.
uh, it would, I could never have envisioned this as what I would want to do, what I'm passionate about, and what I'm able to do at this time of my life. Nor would I have thought back then, 20 years ago, that I'm looking forward to at least another 20 years of being an entrepreneur, which is, the other thing that we share in common, that we are entrepreneurs. We are passionate about helping people, and we are passionate about learning and continuing to sort of grow and evolve personally. And in doing so, not only do we lift ourselves, but we lift everybody around us, right? And God, how do we figure it out? Well, fortunately, it's a lot easier, a lot less painful, a lot less intimidating when you have circles like this, or in the case of what I'm looking at on the screen, a rectangle like this. But the truth is, we weren't given a manual for this stage of our lives. We weren't given a manual for publicly sitting in our underwear to, bring in Deanna's conversation, because that's kind of what I feel like we're doing by being on a public forum like this, a public stage, and talking about what we don't know and what scares us and what we aspire to, what's new, what's the, it's easy today to look at the Instagram story of somebody's life, but what's really the background behind all of that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm excited about how many women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond are creating businesses, running businesses, building big businesses, really having such a ripple effect about improving lives and inspiring others, that it gets me so excited. And because Jody Kay will get this, I'm an Enneagram 7. And so that, that enthusiasm, that passion to discover new things, create new things, expand always, is what is, that's who I am. That's my story, and I love doing that. But I love that we're all so diverse. Obviously, in this group alone, the examples of how we're different personalities and different Enneagram types, or different backgrounds, where our origin stories, where we were born, what our professional careers have been about. But it's that beautiful tapestry of when you bring us all together, Christine, about what we have in common and what we contribute to each other as strengths. Whether that's a skill set or an introduction, as you are so good at doing, the connections. So, yeah, and yay.
Ah, I always feel enriched at the end of a situation, but today I feel like we created something. This just the recording, the replay of what we've been talking about might be something that can be handed as a gift to somebody else who is going, I would love to work for a company that is doing something. And here I am in Texas or Northern California, or where else was it, Deanna? Where are you hiring?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Someone, I want to work for a company that I can really, dig myself into. And regardless of age, because I really mourned the passing of my youth as I turned 30. I was having a hard time with it. It was stupid. And I wasn't the only one, because for some reason I turned on Oprah. I can't believe she's been on TV that long. And she had 30-year-olds on stage, and they were talking about, my first wrinkles on my first gray hairs. And then she had some people, I don't know, they were definitely in their 80s going, I am too busy to even think about, oh, is it deeper this year when I smile? It's like, I'm just too busy smiling. I'm too busy working with other people. And I was like, oh, that was there for me. So regardless of where everyone's at, what I see on this rectangle are 5 women, 6 including me, who are talking like Isabel and saying, my next 20 years, what I'm doing next. I don't see anyone, I don't hear, I'm almost kind of finished with this. And then I am just, the rest, the younger generation can take over now. It's like, no, I'm so vibrantly excited about the directions this can go. So I'm just going to start with you, Isabel. Please tell our audience that will see this in replay again and again through the years. I get the number that comes up lately is right around 2,000 different individual taps on this kind of information. I know that I promote it out, but I think people are using it to say, hey, look at what this person said when they were in a group situation, because you talk differently when you're in a peer group, in with colleagues, in with new friends, and you're like, oh, they are singing my song, so for everyone seeing it replay, for Steve, who came so faithfully, and I'm so glad that you both know you're in Florida now. Isabel, who can get a hold of you, and why do you want them to get a hold of you? And we'll just go round the screen on giving someone a next step.
Thank you. So I am publicly easily found as the Encore Catalyst. And why you should remember Encore is that means more. And that's really what we're all about here, right? More life, more time in our life, more life in our time, more freedom, more fun. I love to play, Natalia, and more financial certainty. And I love the fact that in our Encore years is when we can really take all of that life experience, the vault of our lifetime knowledge, our tacit knowledge. We continue to learn, and then we just share that wisdom out with others. So, Encore.
Encore. Ani, you talk with people online. Is there a great way to get a hold of someone who is going to manage my pain instead of telling me, just try to put up with it?
Yes, and I believe in pain resolution instead of managing your pain. That's what doctors do. They manage your symptoms. I either get rid of it or I don't. So, my company name Last Stop for Pain. So that's the easiest way. And when you go to my homepage, there is a little gift where everyone can access 5 body pain hacks, which is for the next 5 days, you'll receive 2 to 3 minute video, very short video that actually gives you self-help techniques for like neck pain, back pain, lymphatic drainage step by step, or downloadable PDFs that you can learn these techniques and have it in your arsenal, in your toolbox, so you can pull it up whenever you need it.
In that phrase, in that title, Last Stop for Pain. Number 4?
Number 4, not
Last
FOR.
stop, the numeral, and then pain.
Yes.
Yay. And Deanna, you're looking to hire, you're looking to promote people's better living. How do you want to be remembered?
Yeah. Well, for anybody that needs help with questions about incontinence or free product samples, or a plethora of resources can be found on our company website, which is Seni, SENI with a hyphen, USA.com. We encourage people to try the products for right size and fit before you're out spending a lot of money on products and it's not the right size or fit. So we do offer free product samples. And then our postings for those 3 openings are on Indeed. And that is the best way to, if they go to the search bar, Indeed, and I think if they just put in Seni incontinence products, they're posted on Indeed would be the best way. But yeah, we look forward to hearing some folks on both ends.
Excellent. Natalia, your white paper was called Bricks for, the word for, FOR.
No, it's 4 number.
Really?
I mean,
okay.
it's easier to remember B4BB, bricks for better brains. Yes.
Bricks for better brains. And it's Legos or Duplos, whatever is working for people. That is just great. So we've heard about Enneagrams, and we've heard about playfulness and, being accomplishment, execute, finish, and play is ongoing. It's fluid, and it is hard to get out of the mentality of, aren't you a little old for playing with those things? And we can make fun of the only difference between men and boys is their toys. And perhaps that the toys are what encourage lively, vibrant longevity. So maybe there shouldn't be so much difference between women and girls, and more playfulness. Yay. Natalia, what else do you want to tell about yourself?
That there is a way to engage with a play. At least I can help with you, the interested party, to find a way to engage with bricks the way it works for them, which the program really shows, because I meet a lot of people with different approaches, different needs, and different expectations, and we so far were able to find common ground and emerge at the end as a better and healthy individuals.
That sounds good to me. I'm going to say my little piece, and then we'll finish with Jody and what she would like to say and how she would like to be contacted. At agingbetternetwork.com, you can find all of the replays of all of these group conversations. Occasionally, I pop in one of the interviews that I recorded a long time ago when I was just learning. And boy, was I learning. And it was just really nice people who said, sure, you can go ahead and interview me on the subject of aging. But also at agingbetternetwork.com are the 2 books that I wrote because my husband, D. Scott Smith, motivational listener, said that article could be expanded into a book. And that one's called Caregiver Kit. And it's practical and it's super short. And then there was the really big one that I started writing on scraps of paper as I would sit in my car between shifts at different homes, where I saw commonalities. And I thought, this information shouldn't just poof disappear, because most people do not get to serve in almost 100 different homes. Most people don't get to see how families are have things in common. Like, this is how I'm already acting upon my age, or this is something that I don't even know what to do with. Joy Laverdi wrote, who's going to take care of me when I get old? I think that's almost the exact right title. And I didn't know about her. I didn't have resources. I didn't have answers to questions that the families of my people that I assisted were asking me. I thought, I'm the expert on how you handle everything from Medicare to safety in the bathroom to, is this okay? Is this normal for people this age? I thought, wow, there's got to be something better. And that is what I have discovered. That's why I have my website, so that people can go, now at least I know what question to ask. And I might ask Jody K. Benusa. How do you say your last name?
That is right. You nailed it.
Yay!
Oh, so Christine, thank you so much for allowing me to participate again on this panel. I absolutely love doing this. I love hearing everyone's stories, and I love taking bits and pieces. I've been taking notes as everyone has been chatting. So thank you so much. I love what you said earlier. No, I'm not going to stop doing this. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. Why would I stop now? I'm just getting going. I'm just finally coming into my best life ever. So the more I can share, the more I can help, the better I become as a person too. So easiest way to find me is on the web. Name of my company is USA Geriatric Services, and it really doesn't matter where you live. The process is the same, no matter where. So I can serve anyone from coast to coast, north to south, east to west. It doesn't matter. So I just want to say thank you again, and I'm letting everyone know that holidays are coming up. Be blessed, be well, and thank you.
Bye-bye, ladies. Thank you so much. This was a great this is the second part of two-part reunion. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you all came today. Bye-bye. Happy November, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank